And
just because you got famous doesn't mean you're that knowledgeable about the political world that your opinion should be put out there to sway other people.
So here's the thing.
Maybe insurance companies should start doing that.
Amy Schumer, she is not.
Tony Hinchcliffe. Like,
fuck Tony Hinchcliffe.
I love Tony Hinchcliffe.
Fuck Tony Hinchcliffe.
Why don't
fuck
you like
Tony
Why
Hinchcliffe?
fuck? Why?
Yeah.
He would mother's milk the shit out of everybody.
It'd be awesome. His big hairy tits just mushing your face.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
I can smell Westeros.
How's that feel?
It is.
Yeah, we can hear him good.
Mic.
Yep, I hear him.
All right, beautiful.
Hopefully it's
beautiful.
blocking my face.
All right, good.
Nice.
Actually, more of that, please.
Just a gentle.
We're not still
tapping.
rolling, are we? Yeah.
Welcome to the Sofa Kingdom podcast with your host Nelson.
Jason.
Ed.
Wait a second. You're Ian.
Oh,
You're Ian.
Yeah, wait.
You fucked it up.
Fuck,
You fucked it up.
Ian.
And our very special guest.
Jason.
Yes.
okay. All right.
Yes, it's nice when people know their names.
Yeah,
It's such a hard
that's
thing. Should we have practiced?
We should have. We
could
should have rehearsed
practice.
this.
All right, we can practice this again. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Now
So,
stop.
on today's episode,
Cheers.
yes, we will be drinking Don Julio.
No, we will not. As you can see in my glass, there is no Don Julio. This is not the color.
Ian wants Don's Julio.
I do not want Julio's Don or Don Julio.
Are you sure?
Okay. So, Jason,
That is nice.
tell us about
yeah.
yourself.
That is nice.
I'm happy with that purchase.
Yeah, we're going to hit you with some hard
Oh, we're
hitting
learning about
questions.
Jason.
Yes, I would like to learn about Jason.
We're
It's your
gonna
first time on
let
the
the world
podcast.
know who Jason
Yes,
is.
who is Jason?
I'm so glad you asked that.
He's having an identity
No.
crisis
You prepared-
live on
you prepared
air
a
right now.
Yeah. So it's because I listened to this podcast. I've listened to like all of them. Back, I have a
Nice.
parasocial relationship with all of you.
Yes.
And it's that's why.
well.
Like Ian's probably the newest, so he doesn't realize that. Like when I kind of like approach him, I'm maybe a little overly familiar. I'm like, I've listened to you for like 50 hours.
I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. I do like it.
So that's what I do. I listen to podcasts. I listen to content about content.
Nice.
You know, which is going to be really great for today's because you actually wanted us to watch stuff. I've watched nothing. So I'm very
You know, I'm
excited.
going to tell you something. That's exactly what happens. Like, we can put out like a little homework assignment, like, hey, everybody, let's be prepared for the podcast. Everybody sits down like, did you watch any? No, I didn't do
Yeah,
it.
but
I didn't
I
watch
felt
it.
like historically, even when we would have an assignment, like we would start with the assignment and then fucking make it right.
Yeah,
like,
Ian would take it off the rails.
Yeah.
always me.
Ian.
Always me.
Always, never Nelson.
No.
Never
No,
Nelson.
Nelson never
Not once.
deviated from the subject.
Funnily enough, Eddie's always got like notes,
Yeah.
you know, like tablet
Yeah.
tabs pulled up.
The
and shit
lifeblood
like
of the podcast. Yeah.
He's like,
I've given up on a lot of the notes.
Oh.
They sit there, and at the end, I'm like, we talked about none of this.
None of this shit.
None of this.
None of this
None
shit.
of this got used.
None of this
That's how
was
it should go.
discussed.
so this year, 2024, right?
Good year.
Good year, right? But was it a great year for movies and TV, right? Because I feel like there are far fewer really standout stuff this year than in previous
I don't
years.
feel that, like, with a lot of the censorship and with Disney doing what it does, that
Yes.
we've had a great year for media
Yes.
in general.
No, I don't think next year is going to be any better. We have the layover of COVID and all of that writing and nonsense. That's going to hang out for 2, 3, 4 years because whatever they're putting out now started 2, 3, 4 years ago. So this final change and letting the content be good first, and then if it has a secondary message, congratulations, nice. That's not going to really hit yet.
Right.
So even going into next year and the year after, you're still going to have all of that older style of, you know, money was being pumped in even if people weren't watching bullshit shows and
Right.
TV
Yeah.
movies
Right,
and all
right.
that coming
Well,
out first.
Can't wait.
A lot of it is, I believe, they had like lineups.
Yep.
Like they had lineups that they were like, Marvel is doing so great, Star Wars is doing so great. We're just gonna keep pumping them out.
That's why we have all these projects that they
Or
aren't,
a little
aren't even
lackluster.
touched yet.
They were,
And
Yeah.
But
they
you
were dropped off or lackluster. Yes.
You also have just like the difference of going from like the streaming wars and COVID to normalizing, and then also I mean I work in a little bit of media because I work in advertising, and one of the things is like the first thing we talk about in the year that is divisible by 4 is hey, it's an election year, so let's be careful. Where are we going to pull our punches? Where are we going to have a mixed message? So there's a lot of like, and you know, there's probably a lot of older folks in showbiz that are also kind of thinking in that way. Like,
Right.
am I gonna blow all my powder
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that was
Am I
like
gonna shoot all my
that was something like
Whoa.
Johnson
my
and
load.
Johnson baby powder?
that was something that I think Jordan had commented on, where they tried to one time get his political affiliation, and he's like, both sides buy my shoes. Why would I say anything?
And that is the way to be when you are selling things. Like, why placate to one particular crowd or another? Keep your politics out of it. Here it is. Here's my product. My sneakers don't care if you're Republican or Democrat.
Yeah. And-
Wear them.
And just
They have a little
because
Jumpman on
just
there.
because you got famous doesn't mean you're that knowledgeable about
Yes.
the political world that your opinion should be put out there to sway other people.
So here's the thing.
Maybe insurance companies should start doing that.
Coming back to like next year's what's coming out on the horizon, there are 4 Marvel big projects that are coming out for 2025. One of them being your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
All
right.
Okay. All right.
So
I like that.
Spider-Man always kills, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, come on. When has Spider-Man not killed in recent years? Spider-Man 3. How long ago are we? Was
But
that mistake that happened?
you're talking like 1 out of like a dozen though.
Yes.
Because I mean,
Yeah, Far From Home was okay.
you throw in the animated Spider-Man
From Home was
movies in
alright.
there as well. They're
Far
Who
From Home?
are you? Far From Home was okay.
Far From Home.
Okay.
The fucking Jake Gyllenhaal, like
Yes, that was amazing.
it was
Mysterio.
amazing.
It was what?
Yeah, it was good.
Yes,
No,
thank you. No, it's okay,
good.
Jason.
It was good.
Say that you like it. Yes.
It's good. It was good. It was
The
good.
end scene- I like the end scene where he like catches the like stops the bullet or whatever with Spidey sense.
Yeah,
I
come
like
on.
that.
It was fucking good.
No Way Home was
Yeah.
top tier.
It was, but like comparing
Homecoming
it
was-
against other Spider-Man movies, I'm just saying that when Spider-Man comes out, he hits the mark. He makes the money. The people go.
does.
The asses are in the seats.
He does.
his track record is good enough. People are going to show up first.
Yes.
Okay, this is the one that's questionable.
So far.
Yeah.
Captain America: Brave New World.
No. That's
Because there are people that are not happy with Anthony Mackie taking
I have
over
heard
as Captain America.
People are walking out of test screenings.
yeah. There's been
they
so
allowed
many
to do that?
reshoots.
I mean,
So
you're
many-
there for free, and you're like, "Fuck this."
I have better shit
God
to do.
damn,
That's
that's
great.
hard.
You're walking out of a free movie. It sucks.
That's a statement.
It's
That's
not.
a statement.
But also, like, they did the same thing they did with several other characters. Now that Thunderbolt Ross is a big name, they get rid of the guy that's been playing it for 15 fucking years, and they stick someone else in there.
Harrison Ford.
Because Harrison Ford is such a lively man at this age that he should be a main character.
Bro,
Well, he
he's
just
like a
got done.
tender
He
93.
just got done holding Indiana Jones'
He's-
head underwater for Disney.
he's-
So he figured, "Fuck it, I'll make some money off
He's
Marvel."
been going
you know?
everywhere asking for his characters to die so he can retire.
Legit-
So put him in charge of another franchise.
Legitimately killed Han Solo, killed him.
Yep, asked
Then
for it.
no one will ever see Indiana Jones again. Not for that
Indiana
shit.
Jones.
Oh
He
god.
nuked it.
Yeah.
It was fucking
From orbit.
Godzilla -3. He
yeah.
fucking destroyed that shit.
He's also like actually doing really well in Shrinking, where he's like this sensitive older psychiatrist. So maybe
Yeah.
it's like it's gonna be like a crossed wire.
I agree.
So naturally, he's the guy to play Red Hulk. I mean, naturally.
Yes.
Naturally. That's
Right.
my first pick was Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford.
I was like, I wish Harrison Ford would be cast as Red Hulk.
and of
Rage
course,
machine.
the bit of the controversy of changing over Captain America to an African American,
Yep.
which I will say in the comic book holds true.
Yes.
It is a valid thing. He does
it's
take
just
over.
a hard. There's nothing wrong with it itself. It's just a hard act to follow. Like it'd be like all of a sudden if Chris Hemsworth stepped down and you're like, okay, who's gonna play Thor? I wouldn't want that fucking job.
No.
Everyone is gonna hate
No.
you.
Unless they replaced him with his brother. And
No.
I still hate him.
No. They tried that with The Witcher. Remember how everyone thought, Liam Hemsworth's gonna be Geralt now? Okay,
Okay,
great.
but hold on a second.
I'm so excited for this
All right,
shit.
so in
feel like
the realm
bad
of
for
the
Liam.
two
Yeah.
baddest men on the planet, Henry Cavill and Chris Hemsworth, who's your guy? Who are you going to war with?
Henry Cavill.
Henry
Yeah, for
Cavill.
sure.
Yeah, Henry
You?
Cavill's like
Yeah,
the
yeah. I mean,
hottest dude on earth.
The Warhammer guy's gonna be the guy. You gotta war with.
Yeah.
He's gonna,
Ed?
I mean, if you're going to war, he's the one that actually does strategy. That's literally all he's done all his
Bro,
life was Warhammer.
fuck you guys. Thor.
He built his
All
own PC.
day long.
Yeah,
He
but-
built his own PC.
He's not really Thor.
Yeah.
You're not. We're going based off of the characters that they played, correct?
Superman?
Well,
Superman. Okay. You think
Geralt?
Superman could be
Thor?
the God of Thunder?
Yes.
but you
Superman.
know,
Superman. If you
Superman would
at their-
shit his pants.
Look at their feet. Superman.
If you go off
dog walks
if you go off
Thor.
Superman from the comics, he essentially is a god.
Yeah.
Yes, but
Even against Rune King Thor, I think the strongest version of
essentially
Superman
is a god. So he's like got a Bill Cosby doctorate degree that was given to him by Harvard,
Listen,
right?
I accepted a long time ago.
Thor is a god.
It
I
depends
accepted
on
a long
which-
time ago when Death Battle had Goku go against Superman, and they looked at the science of it, and Superman beat the fuck out of Goku. And when they explained it numbers wise, I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm a huge DBZ fan.
Listen,
Superman's feats are unbelievable.
Superman,
Unbelievable.
is king shit in a lot of
He
things.
fist fights Darkseid.
Just,
He fist fights Darkseid.
but also like Cavill will also like hold the line. You know, he
Yeah.
has leadership. You know, so he'll be like, no, this is what the character's good. Like Chris Hemsworth was like, let me tell you about Thor.
God
And
damn right.
he never said
Yeah.
that
Okay,
to a
but do you
writer.
And
remember that scene?
he's walked away from franchises
Yes.
because they were fucking it up. Even with
The
Warhammer.
Witcher. The
Yes.
Witcher.
Okay.
And Warhammer, he's like, no,
Correct.
they're trying to play some bullshit like they did with The Witcher. And he's like, I'm fucking
Yes,
out.
I'm
but,
out.
but there was a scene where Thor gives the power of the gods to a bunch of children with
Oh,
teddy
yeah.
bears.
Oh, yeah.
Can you top that, Superman?
Oh yeah, Thor would do that. I mean, yeah. let's have a bunch of kids fight the minions of Gore the
Yes.
God Butcher.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's responsible.
That's
Thor.
who I would take to war, is a bunch of expendable children.
They should have just played that out the way it would have played out. I would have loved to see a bunch of
They're dying to
Asgardian
go back
children
into the
be slaughtered.
mines and get back to work.
Right, of course. The children yearn for the mines.
Jason, the Justice League and Superman, or children with teddy bears? Come on.
Children with teddy
Come
bears.
on. Children with teddy bears all day.
You know,
I laughed at that scene. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too.
It's a
I enjoyed it
parent
too, but I also enjoyed the irresponsibleness of
It was so fucking absurd.
I'm like, Thor, they're gonna be slaughtered. Like, I'm
Yeah.
glad it played out the way it did, but in reality, Gore's
It
minions
would have been a
torn
room of
apart.
dead children.
It'd have been of dismembered children.
Yes.
And it would have been the first TVMA
Yeah.
rating for a Disney movie.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't wait for the American Gods recreation of that, where they make Thor like artsy and tasteful.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Get Neil Gaiman on this.
Yeah.
No.
No, I was gonna say the scene in Wakanda Forever, or it might have been Avengers 2, where they're fighting off Thanos' army,
It's
and fucking
Infinity War.
Thor drops down and just starts murking everybody.
Pretty cool.
That was
Yeah,
amazing.
Bring me Thanos.
Yes, that was amazing. And he chopped his head off. He got to Thanos, and he did legitimately
Endgame,
kill
he
the
chopped his
motherfucker.
head
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Sad,
Battle
sad,
damage.
He,
his
in
head off.
Infinity War, he didn't
Yeah.
go for the head.
No,
yeah,
he didn't
see,
go for
sad,
the head.
Sad Thor did take off the head. A little
did.
too late.
But
It was
he's
a little
still.
too late.
How
To
many
be
people
fair,
can
that was
lay claim?
pacifist. That
It was
was
a-
pacifist Thanos.
How
He was
many people
gardening
can
at
lay
that
claim
point.
to that though? How many of y'all chopped off Thanos' head? Huh? Huh? None of you.
Big difference between like wartime Thanos and like I'm gardening and I'm peaceful. now.
One
yeah.
arm is crippled, and I've been planting seeds.
Yeah,
Fair enough. Fair enough. But that's like saying like, okay,
I mean,
so
are you gonna praise Jake Paul for what he just did to like peaceful Mike Tyson?
actually, I am. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Fuck Mike
never-
Tyson.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You can write that on a crap.
That's right.
Nelson Rosa hashtag
Voice
fuck
calls.
Mike
Fuck
Tyson.
Mike Tyson. Fuck
Oh,
that geriatric
hang on.
man.
We got Matt calling.
Oh, God,
Oh
no.
shit! We have a call in today. We're gonna
no.
check this out.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing,
Matt,
Matt?
what's up?
What's going on?
Oh, you know, we're just hanging out, recording some shit, talking
Yep.
some shit.
shitting on Superman.
Nice. So I was listening to your last podcast and it was hilarious because I'm like, there's a lot of times I sit on the couch and I'll be on that show and you guys will cover topics that I have no idea about. And I try to know my lane. I'm like, I'm just gonna shut the fuck up and listen to what the hell it's saying.
Yeah.
But the last one, I'm like, every one of these topics, I'm like, I want to chime in on. It was amazing. I will say, real quick note, you guys were talking about Saturday Night Live skits.
Yes.
And I agree with you. I think there's a lot of like terrible ones, and they're not that good. But
Yes.
one of the greatest Saturday Night Live skits that happened within the last year, you guys seen that? Nate, I forget how the guy's name is pronounced. Nate Bargatze or something, where he's like the Revolutionary War, where he's like,
Oh, Nate Bargatze.
yeah,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
he's like George Washington's dream.
I have not seen this skit. No,
You
we'll have to
haven't
check
seen
it out.
that skit?
No.
It's so
it's
good.
good.
It's like he's like talking about his dream for America, and he's like, we will be free from oppressors. We will elect our own officials. He's talking to the troops, and they're like, yeah, and he's like, and we will use our own system of weights and measures. It has no bearing on it. We're going to call this, and we're going to call 10,000 pounds a ton. Someone's like, what are they going to call 1,000 pounds? Nothing.
Nothing.
That's great.
There was two of them. You got to check those out.
All right,
That is
I'll
probably
definitely
one of the best skits ever.
definitely will. While we have you on here, Matt, let me ask you, what is your favorite movie of 2024?
Oh shit.
Yeah. All right. While you're thinking, Jason, go
yeah,
ahead. Go for it. Go for it.
It's Deadpool. It's just Deadpool.
Deadpool Wolverine?
Deadpool Wolverine's the
I was
only
gonna
movie
say
that came out
Deadpool
this whole year.
Wolverine. Eddie?
Yeah,
We all
same
agree.
thing.
Deadpool Wolverine? Ian?
Yeah.
Matt?
Yeah, that's. I was gonna say. I mean, if it's one of my favorite movies of any time, it's got to be in the top movie. I'd say of the year for sure.
I thought you were gonna say Tin Cup for sure.
Tin Cup. The remake. The remaster.
Happy Gilmore.
The Snyder
Something
cut.
with a golfer involved.
Nobody picked Joker 2 or
Oh my god.
No, so I'm gonna
or
agree with
Gladiator 2 or
the Deadpool Wolverine. All right, then. All right, guys. Since we have Matt here too, worst movie of the year.
All right, you guys go around first.
I mean,
And I didn't have to see it. I knew it was gonna be shit.
I didn't see it.
It was the
Oh.
Joker
'Cause
too.
the
Finally
day-
a douche.
The day they called it as a musical, I said it was gonna bomb.
yeah. I mean, objectively, that probably is the worst movie of the year. But I just have to. I'm gonna say just Gladiator 2 because I'm still just in shock that it was made.
It's getting good
Yeah.
reviews, apparently.
yeah, but
At
it's-
least money-wise, it's his highest-grossing Denzel Washington movie.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly. Why?
What about you, Jason?
Because Gladiator was that good.
right, and that's what it's writing off of the back
Yes.
of. So a lot of movies that come out that like by the time we got to Venom 3, it was so watered down. It was.
But it's
pretty
like,
bad.
if they go to make
But I
Braveheart
enjoyed
2,
it to
you
get through
don't
it.
need Braveheart 2. I'm not going to see it. Leave it at 1. 1 was all we needed.
Yes.
I mean, what extra are we gonna get? Troy 2?
The Rise of Helen.
You know, like, I would have to say, like, it would definitely be Joker. Joker 2 seems like the one, but it almost seems like they did that on purpose, right? Like, it felt like it's like a
Like they crashed the franchise.
I mean, if you want to kill your franchise, that's
Yes.
a fucking surefire way to do it.
Out of movies that I actually seen, Borderlands was the worst movie of the year that I saw. It was, and I wanted to
didn't
love
see
it.
it.
I wanted. Jack Black is Claptrap. I wanted to love this movie, and I hated
That's
it.
a hard fucking sentence to say. Jack Black is Claptrap. I'm very happy that you got that.
Thank you. So, what about you, Matt? What did you watch that you felt was the shittiest movie of 2024?
You know, I'm going to give a biggest disappointment.
Okay. All right.
Where there was a movie, because I love the movie Split, and I think we've talked about that.
Yes.
And it's James McAvoy, right?
Yes.
He was in a movie, and I don't know if it's 2023 or 2024, but it was called Speak No Evil.
Mm-hmm.
You guys seen that one?
Yes.
You know, I'm like, he's such a great actor, and he can play such a just undertone, lying, crouching in wait villain, evil personality, that they're just like, you just had to do a decent job of just letting him do this. And I'm like, watching this, like, at one point in that movie, they're like, the wife, the evil woman, like, takes her child and brings her into bed with them. James McAvoy's sitting there in like Euro underwear with the kid in there.
That's what
And
did it.
she's
It was
like
the fucking
pissed.
Euro underwear.
She's raging mad. We're leaving. And then she gives her some fucking explanation like, oh, I lost a daughter at one point, and she accepts that answer. I'm like, if that was my fucking daughter, you'd be dead. Are you kidding me? I am now the evil guy in that movie.
This is true.
The murdering would have started sooner.
Yes. All right, Jason, what about you? What is the worst movie you've seen this year?
like, I'm literally thinking about it, and, like, it's
It's so bad he tried to strike the name from his memory.
like,
It's like I'm purging my fucking brain.
It's a tough question to answer because you're like,
So
I
much was
avoid
so bad.
movies that you guys mentioned.
Yeah,
I
it's
avoided
hard for me to
watching
pick
the
too because
second Joker.
Yeah, it's hard for me to pick too because like I don't watch shit. Like if I feel a weird vibe about something,
You're not gonna watch
yeah.
it.
I won't even go into it.
There's
Like,
so
like,
much to do. I don't have time for things where I'm like iffy about. Like if I'm looking at it, I'm like, maybe. But I'll wait till later.
The cast for Borderlands, I'm like, how could it be this bad?
Yep.
You got Kevin Hart, Jack Black, Kate
Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett.
Like you had
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm like,
yeah,
come on.
and
it has to be an over exaggeration.
Jamie Lee Curtis and Kate Blanchett were like fucking 40 years too old to play this character.
Yeah, they were supposed to be
and
playing
I
like
love-
19-year-old women, and they're like 90.
I love both of those actresses, but they are no.
I think the idea was they wanted to just do what Dungeons and Dragons did. They're
Yes.
like, let's do it again.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then they're like, no.
I do know that apparently Jamie Lee Curtis tried to get that role because she's a fan of the franchise. So she wanted to be in the movie.
Fair.
And she's a big enough name where they're like, how do we not put her in?
How do we tell her no?
But yeah, it's a little bit like you have characters that are like 3 times the age of the characters playing who they're supposed to be. But then you also have Kevin Hart, who's 4'0", supposedly playing a 6'7" fucking behemoth of a human being. You're like,
Yeah.
this is a little upside down.
So if
Yeah.
you go to
Hey,
Jamie Lee
Kevin Hart
Curtis-
is not that small.
Oh,
Listen, don't defend your people. Don't defend
listen,
your
I think
Yeah.
Kevin Hart is
Relative
looking
term,
up to
all
you,
right?
I think, if you're standing on the golf course,
Yeah,
sir.
this
Right.
this is true. This is true.
If you fought Kevin Hart, you would have a reach advantage, man.
You would, for the first time in your life, punch down. What you got for us, Jason? I know you think.
But do you think Jamie Lee Curtis, you go to her house, she's playing Borderlands? That's the thing. Like, I'd love
I mean,
to see it.
No, she's eating that yogurt that helps her shit.
I mean,
Remember?
No, right, Tibia.
I mean, maybe.
Bacteria, yeah.
I mean, maybe, right?
Yeah, Jamie Lee
love
Curtis.
to. I
Jamie
want
Lee-
it.
The voices work if it was fully animated.
I remember those commercials.
But doing it live action, it doesn't translate over.
Jamie Lee Curtis can't shit. There's your title for our holiday.
Was she on like a prune juice commercial
No,
that I don't know about?
Activia yogurt.
Activia.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She's up there smiling at you, holding the yogurt, and I'm like,
she's
ew.
been the sponsor of the yogurt that makes you shit for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Where have you been?
Yeah,
Nice.
like Jamie Lee Curtis takes bad shits, like the bad kind, like the kind that are all like gooped
They're
from
all
your
bad.
hole
They're
after.
they're just bad.
Like where you wipe 6 times and there's still shit.
Yeah, you have a ballistic section
yeah.
come in.
And I can't get that out of my head. Like when I watch True Lies, when I watch True Lies and I see her dancing on that pole and like Arnold's just sitting there watching, as good as she looks, I'm like, she can't shit. Like she takes bad shit.
Hopefully she took a shower before she got on the pole.
Right. Like if you marry her and live with her, you have to deal with that now. The bathroom is shut down for hours because she takes
She's got
bad
enough
shits.
money where she can have her own outdoor shower.
Apparently not enough to
And shit
afford
her.
a diet that has her have good shit.
Well, that kind of reminds me of like the episode of Friends where one of the guys, I forget that, Joey, he goes and he does like a chlamydia commercial.
Nice.
So now he's like hitting on girls in the train station, and they can
Yeah.
see like a picture of him like as chlamydia guy. They're like, nah, no thanks. You can't. What did they say about?
Whereas before, it was Ian's face on that poster.
Absolutely, yes.
he was the spokesperson,
Listen, I'm still the spokesperson.
the reigning champion,
Pro
if
bono.
you will.
Pro bono.
Listen,
Do what you love.
listen, it pays well, but nobody reads the small print.
They do actually pay more for participating in commercials and advertising like that because of the stigma. Because they're like, oh, some people are so stupid they're gonna think this is real. So we'll give that poor actor a few more dollars just to deal with the fact that
Because now
they'll walk around and people
nobody
will
wants
look
to
at him
fuck
like,
him because they think he's all clapped up.
Yes.
Got it.
He is claptrap. Bring it back. Yeah,
I see what you did there. Borderlands STD joke. I get it. I like that. I like that for us.
So while I got 5 minutes, I
Go
have a
for it.
question. Can I get your opinions on the Penguin? Did I finish and say
Go for
like,
it.
we talk for 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Like maybe
Yeah, no,
people
go ahead,
cross
go
the
ahead.
line if
Yes,
they haven't
yes.
seen it.
Have you seen The Penguin, Jason?
I have not, but I've heard ads.
Me neither.
I've
haven't had the
I've
chance
seen
to
the whole
watch it.
thing. I've seen the whole thing.
Go ahead. Ask-
You
Well,
want
I
my?
don't want to ruin it for him because I'm about to say this is
No,
the best.
go ahead.
It's all right. It's all right. I'll still watch
It's-
it and enjoy it.
it's
Go
all
ahead, Matt.
spoilers
shoot,
don't bother
shoot.
me none.
Shoot for the Penguin. Go ahead.
I mean, just my impression. I'm like, I think they did such an amazing job of like the entire time. They shoot it in a way where you got a sympathy for the guy.
Yeah.
Like they make it feel like he's just treading water.
Until
to
the
then
last
just
episode.
come out and go, he's just a Satan the entire
Yes.
freaking time.
Yep.
It's
No, I agree with you, Matt. That's my number 2 pick for shows of the year, but it's neck and neck with my number 1 pick. And I think Colin Farrell, if Colin Farrell doesn't get like an Emmy or something or a gold, whatever the fuck they give for TV shows, he deserves it.
TVs.
Yeah, he was unrecognizable in all that prosthetics and just the way he
Right.
like he made me believe that like Gotham had this like super structured underworld. And like, if you'd have told me that I'd have gave so much of a shit about one of Batman's lesser villains, I'd be like, no, like I don't give a fuck about a fat guy with a monocle.
Right.
But like the way they played it was so unbelievable. Like even Sophia Falcone, who became Sophia Gigante.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, she deserves one as well.
Yeah,
If she doesn't
Chica
get an
Gigante?
award. Yeah, well, you have to watch the show to see where it goes. But yes,
But that puts you
And
squarely
the attention to detail, by the
into-
way, the kid when they do the flashback to his childhood, and then you see the younger mom, they not only physically got the right people for that role, the kid nails his like
mannerisms,
whole persona
yeah.
so perfect. Usually at a show like that, you'll step in and you go, all right, I got to use my imagination because this kid's fucking up really bad.
Yeah.
But the kid fucking kills it. So does the younger mom.
Yeah,
it's unreal.
You kind of root for Oswald Cobb for a majority of the show because like he's obviously the main character of the show. But then like once you get that flashback episode of him as a kid, and then the show wraps up, and I won't ruin the twist for anyone who hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
You realize how much of a piece of shit he is, and he is like a real villain.
Damn.
Like he
Well,
is
and the mom,
bad
even
fucking
she
person.
drops a line where turns out I'm living with the devil.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
that was before any sort of reveal. And I'm like, then you think back on that line after seeing it, and I'm like, holy shit, did she summarize it perfectly?
Yeah. Like
Okay.
he's legitimately like a villain.
So would
And
you call that
there's-
your show of the year, Matt?
I would say, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Okay.
but I also
pick,
loved,
fair
I
pick.
don't know if did you guys watch The Offering?
No.
No.
That was on Paramount Plus. That's that.
Is that
I
Whoopi Goldberg?
recommend it. That's because I recommended it, and that's why you didn't watch it. Yeah, that's right.
Whoopi Goldberg.
That's a the Offering sounds like a Whoopi Goldberg TV show for sure, and something that I would never watch.
No, but the Offering is about the making of The Godfather.
Oh yes, you did bring that up.
Okay.
So I'd say that one is like that one you have to ignore. There's some crappy costumes and some shitty acting at points.
Okay.
But if you just focus on the actual story and know that that's a true story, that is one of the best stories I've ever heard told too. You gotta check that one out.
I would say my favorite show of the year, and this it was a toss up for me, but it was Fallout.
Oh, absolutely.
Follows
That's a fair choice.
Fallout
That's
was
that's a
my
fair choice.
favorite show of the year. It surprised me. The costumes, the acting, the storyline, everything just lined up perfectly. I liked the villain more than I liked the hero.
They captured the tone and the story of the Fallout games so perfectly when they brought it over to the show. I was surprised how well they managed to carry it over because it's a very dark but humorous kind of post-apocalyptic world that they're trying to portray. It's very difficult to capture over. There's lots of post-apocalyptic stuff that doesn't hit that tone where there's the weird thing like the guy with the music.
Yeah.
Like that's a thing that kind of happens in the game where you're like, there's a random musical artist and they want you to go fetch quest fucking records.
Yeah.
Like this is the thing you're worried about. There's giant radiation laced animals trying to kill you, but you're like, hey man, I need that violin.
Yes.
Can you give me that violin? The tone on it is just so warm.
How about the chicken fucker?
No, chicken
Chicken
butter,
fucker was my favorite guy.
and doctor, and he healed that guy's foot.
And he turned into a ghoul.
Yes.
He turned him into a
Fallout
ghoul.
probably did the best job of capturing a video game world that I've seen in a show yet.
Yeah,
they brought post-apocalyptic like Bethesda world to life.
And what's crazy is like those things that they talked about with the vaults, those are vaults from the game.
Right.
So like those ideas they were throwing up, like a vault with just one person and like 100 puppets, or a vault and we're testing this, and a vault where those are all vaults in the game that you run into where
That's
like
pretty sick.
you go into it and it's just a clone of Gary. And they only know how to say Gary because they've been in there for like 200 years, and it's just you're walking around Gary. You're like Jesus Christ.
So it's like I am Groot.
Yes, it is.
It's that
And they're
worse.
all it's like each clone is a little bit darker than the previous one. So it's just a militia of like
Until you get to like evil
psychopathic Garys trying to kill you.
That's fucking great.
The best thing,
But
though,
I think that's again the unique perspective that I come in from, where you guys know these video games. I never played that game. I had never
Right.
heard of that game.
Right.
They must have done a fantastic job considering that I love that show.
Right.
Yeah.
And never played it.
Yeah.
So
the
you,
thing-
sir, should play Fallout.
Yeah. But prep yourself because we're very spoiled with
Right.
game mechanics these days. You don't like just easily roll into old games, and a lot of the best part of Fallout is the story.
Yes.
And all of the like little secret things that they working into the shows and all of that world.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. Yeah.
My favorite thing about it is like when you play Fallout, and it's like if you bring your intelligence like as low as it can go, you bring it to 1,
Yes.
and you talk to any other idiot character, you have this awesome erudite dialogue. You are a scholar and a gentleman.
You're like, ugh.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, but then what you do is just put those the stuff in like the lucky perk where you're like
Yes.
idiot savant.
Idiots,
yeah.
but yeah, you could
Where you
luck
be the-
your way through the game.
Yeah, you can be the dumbest motherfucker on the planet, but you still get all the experience in the world.
It's fucking great.
And just those power armors, man. Who doesn't want that?
Yes.
But it's
every
great when
boy's
you
dream.
get a video game like that, because Skyrim was that game for me, where like they left books that you could read
Yes.
throughout the fucking game. And I'm like, I played it so many times for so many hours. I've lost 2 lifetimes.
Oh yeah.
I've read the books. I've read the pamphlets.
Yeah.
I know the towns. I know the lore. I know the shopkeepers by name. It's fucked up.
I am
It's
just
fucked up, bro.
You saw
That's weird. They don't remember you.
Oh shit.
And how do we hang up on that?
I know. Hey, guys, I'm going to sign off. I got to go make some money.
All right, Matt. Thank you for
All
calling
right,
in.
Matt. Later, bro.
I
Thank
love
you.
guys.
Take it
Thanks for
easy.
having me on.
All right.
Right.
That's fine. I'll leave.
Did you see the brain rot version of Skyrim?
I did not.
The
What is
word
this?
the word of the year now is brain rot. Where pretty much you're just dropping all of like the Gen Z terms,
Yes,
like
yes.
boomer and skibbity toilet, and they're just like working it into normal conversation. So someone's reworked Skyrim voiceover dialogue.
No.
So they're like, "Hey goon, we're gonna go over to those Zoomers."
Oh,
like,
yes.
like and like, oh, watch out for that boomer, and the dragon's the boomer, and it's like things were cheaper when I was young.
Nothing will ever beat the Macho Man Randy Savage mod for the Dragons.
Have you seen
Nothing,
this? I
Yes.
have not.
Nothing
Oh
will
my God.
ever beat that.
Yes,
Ever.
dragons with Macho Man's face on it.
Yeah.
And they
It's-
yell Macho Man quotes as they're breathing
It
fire. and
just
everything.
flies around yelling, yeah!
Oh, yeah.
Just breathing fire. It's the best fucking thing ever. Like, you can't beat it. Like, he's just flying around picking people up and
Fuck yeah. I'd want to fucking kill that
step into a
dragon.
Slim Jim. He's dropping people. I'm like, dude, this is the best. And like, the dragon is the color of the Macho Man with his face. Like, it's Randy Savage's face modded onto the dragon's face, and he's got the tassels on his wings. I'm like, that is fucking unbelievable.
That's great. That's
Like,
somebody.
Macho Man is flying around Skyrim just destroying
Yes.
shit.
That's somebody who cares about what they do. They put that much detail
Yep.
into turning a dragon into Macho
Well, I just
Man
want to know
Randy
what
Savage.
they were sitting around. They're obviously fucking high off their ass, and they were
Yes.
just like, "What if Alduin the World Eater was Randy Savage?
was we need to make this happen.
Yes.
Who
And
do
they
I
said,
call? Who do I call?
Let's get designing."
yeah.
And
I will
now-
tell you this.
Now we live in that world.
I saw 2 stand-ups just recently, and it's hit or miss for stand-up comedians for me. But Jim Gaffigan's, the skinny one that he just put out, fucking hilarious. Clean comic, really great. And then the other one was Anthony Jeselnik's.
Opposite.
Yeah, oh my god, it's like opposite ends of the spectrum for
Yeah,
sure.
that's
One is
two completely different corners.
humor. One is like cookie cutter, sugar and cream, and they're both hilarious in their own rights. You know what I mean?
My favorite comedy thing of the year was the roast of Tom Brady.
Oh,
That was my
yes.
that was my favorite.
Yes.
there was a lot of comics on the Brady roast that were writers in the background that never got a chance to be put on stage. And finally, this time, instead of writing jokes for everybody else, they got to stand on stage.
Right.
Because finally, it was like, oh, here's a chance for them to actually to get going. And
Some of them are getting jobs off of it. That one chick is Nikki Glazer is
Yeah.
doing like the Emmys now or the
And
Grammys. Or
That's
some
because
shit.
she was particularly brutal.
She was
Yes.
fucking hard.
She murdered Tom
and
Brady.
she wrote like
Murdered
she
him.
would they would give her little parts in some of the other roasts, but a lot of the other comics were up there with her jokes.
Oh, good.
But her comedy specials, even before this, they were excellent.
Oh,
if you go
she's
back and watch
fantastic.
them, she's been knocking it out for years, but just wasn't getting her due. Same thing with
Amy Schumer, she is not.
Tony Hinchcliffe. Like,
Fuck Tony Hinchcliffe.
I love Tony Hinchcliffe.
Fuck Tony
I
Hinchcliffe.
love
Why don't
Fuck
you like
Tony
Why
Hinchcliffe?
fuck? Why do you
Tony
want?
Hinchcliffe?
yeah, recreational outrage.
Yeah.
No.
Here's what it is. Here's what it is.
Let's hear it.
He said Puerto Rico is a floating dumpster.
Do you know why?
I don't give a fuck why. If I ever see
No.
Tony Hinchcliffe in the street, my jujitsu's coming out.
So
I'm gonna tap that motherfucker out, and I'm gonna yell.
Tony Hinchcliffe is your Bill Maher for me.
I'm gonna fuck him up.
All right,
Yes,
fine,
that's
fair.
right.
Here.
I'm
Fair,
gonna wait
fair.
until he comes to South Florida.
Do you know what
and
the
I'm gonna
joke
be
is?
in
Do you know what the joke is based on?
I don't care. I'm gonna sit in the fucking crowd wearing my Puerto Rico outfit with my Puerto Rico flag. I'm gonna run up there like
So-
Macho Man Randy Savage, and I'm gonna fuck his ass up. You know what? I'm gonna yell snap into a
Yeah.
Slim Jim. Why not?
So you're going to attack the man who's pointing out that the politics have made it where the trash dumps in Puerto Rico can't be properly maintained because it's not feasible for them to fund it. Like
Yep.
when the
Jason,
hurricanes
fuck
hit
him.
and
Fuck
they
him.
took
Fuck
the
him.
money back.
Fuck
We're just-
Tony Hinchcliffe.
We're just two white people hiding while the Puerto Ricans fight. Don't mind us.
Yeah.
We didn't do this. We didn't do this.
I think there's
No,
great
what's-
folks on
what's-
both sides.
They're gonna
Yeah.
think we're
There
Trumpers.
are
Oh, fuck.
better ways to say
Oh,
it.
there are absolutely better ways to say it.
Okay.
But are there any
You
ways?
guys are brothers.
Are there any ways that it's been said over the last decade that have gotten any attention? Just like
Okay, but the attention
all of the
that it
money
got,
that got stolen with the hurricanes and all the places that are still out of power
Latte's
because
fantastic.
fuck you, nobody's looking anymore. Take the money back.
here's the thing: the attention that they got was shit because all the attention went to the byline, and that's typically what people read or listen to.
Yep.
And the overall statement was Puerto Rico is a floating dumpster, right? That's what people took away from it. They're not digging deep to find out what it meant. They're just hearing what he said.
I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of people attack Tony in that particular thing. I know what
Yes.
you're saying because he delivered. I think wasn't that line delivered at the Republican National Convention?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wrong time,
Right.
wrong place.
So the liberal
Yeah.
media got a hold of that,
Yep.
like they do a lot of things, and
Yes.
both sides do it. But in
Yes.
this instance, it was a liberal media, and they made just a snippet, and they were
Yes.
like, "All right, we're going to turn all the Puerto Ricans against Tony." And
Goddamn
they
right.
did it.
And I'm one of them.
And I know, I
Fuck
see
that
that.
guy. I'm going to rip his head off.
Did you hear that?
See, I'm at least going to beat Bill Maher's ass, even though Bill Maher's gotten better with years. And I know he's a little Jewish guy and he's adorable, but I'm still going to slide him because
Yeah,
I
that's
remember
right.
the week that fucking Stan Lee died. I brought this up like 6 times on the show.
You have.
He's like, and today the fucking country mourns the death of a man that drew invisible, like imaginary characters. I was like, if I see you, you're fucking done. Like you are. I almost got a fucking
Yes.
tattoo that said Excelsior.
That's
I
right.
will-
That's right.
When I fucking see that little bald headed fuck, I'm delivering. I don't care if I get arrested. I don't care if I get
Yes.
attempted murder.
Yes.
I'm delivering a shot from the gods
That's right. You
directly
know
into
what?
his fucking temple.
You know what we're going to do right now? Tag
I'll
team
sucker
match.
punch him. I'll sucker punch him.
Tag team match in the ring. Nelson and Ian, Bill Maher,
That's
Tony
not fair.
Hinchcliffe.
That's not fair.
Let's fucking do it.
It's not
Let's
much of a- it's
fucking
not
go.
much of a fight.
Let's go.
It's not much of a fight.
That
to be
feels like
fair.
the Mike Tyson fight.
That's
He's
worse.
like, that's not
That's
fair.
fucking worse.
That's not fair.
I would
Somebody
sexually
will
assault
sanction
Bill Maher.
it. Let's just go to Texas.
Yeah.
They'll sanction it.
They would.
They'll sanction anything.
They would.
What about you, Jason? Do you have a deep, dark actor, famous person that you would love
I thought
to
we were
like,
doing best of
slap
the
in
year.
the face?
Oh, yeah.
No, we are.
All right. No, we did
No,
want
we
to
gotta
learn
finish
about
this.
Jason. We did want to learn
Okay,
about
We're
Jason.
not. We're not the only assholes here. Jason,
right.
Who's the
please,
worst?
Who's the worst? Who
Jason,
would you
one
wanna go
celebrity
after?
or
One
pop
celebrity.
culture person that you would like to physically hurt,
Oh man.
like hurt them.
Give me some. List them off, guys. Come on, go. I gotta.
I would just list people that I
All
want.
right, all right, all right, all right.
Yeah.
Drew Barrymore.
Oh, she's already crying all the time.
Why the fuck would you
Yeah,
want to
why
hurt Drew
would you-
Barrymore?
What has Drew Barrymore
It's like-
done?
What did Drew do to you?
Punching down. Jeez.
I listed one. Who else?
At least she seems genuine about the stuff she's overblowing.
Nelson always wants to hurt the people that like don't deserve to be hurt. Fucking, I don't know. Who
Like
knows?
Bill Maher.
Well, Bill Maher needs it. Who the fuck would I want to hurt? I mean, I guess Andrew Tate.
Andrew
Yeah,
Tate.
yeah, yeah.
Yes,
That's a
Andrew
tough
Tate.
fight, though.
But here it
That's
is.
a tough fight.
And all of those,
Yeah, he's a kickboxer.
10X.
Yeah,
that's a
that's
tough
one you
fight.
got to earn. He's a legit kickboxer.
He's
Yeah.
a legit kickboxer. So
I gotta
he's an
shoot for the
asshole,
legs
though.
and
Andrew
pray.
Tate.
I gotta shoot for the legs and pray.
Any
on that one.
CEOs you guys want to shoot?
No, they already got a good start. They already got a good start.
Any execs you want to meet in the street?
Apparently,
You could probably
Nobody
take
knows the
Walmart
names.
out. You can
Yeah.
take Walmart
No,
out.
I haven't
Actually-
bothered fact checking this, but apparently he was responsible for approving the AI that automatically denies claims.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
oh, really? Well, in that case, Arrivederci.
Cheers.
Sir.
Yeah.
Cheers, sir. You
Cheers,
did us a
sir.
service.
Thank you.
Again, I
To the
haven't.
man with the burner phone and the great smile. I hope you're enjoying the money in your account in whatever island you're at right now.
Who's the guy that like bought the HIV treatment and then like
Oh, Scarelli?
sold it? Yeah,
Yeah,
that
he
guy.
was-
Martin
he was a
Scarelli.
fucking
He
asshole.
goes to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the diabetes medicine,
put,
the HIV medicine.
Put his
right?
fucking
Yeah.
name on the list.
You
there.
know what's interesting
And
is
he owns the fucking Wu-Tang album that I want to listen
well,
to.
he sold the album already,
who
but
has it?
apparently he wasn't the only one. It was just he got pointed at and made popular versus other people and other companies that were doing the same thing with same and similar drugs.
Yeah, but he doubled down. He
Oh.
was an asshole in the interview.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, he
but he
doubled
also
down.
he also has a face that's very punchable.
Yes, he does.
Is it shootable? Just wondering.
That's disgusting, Ian.
Best cartoon, guys? Are we going to talk about
All
best
right, let's do
cartoon?
it. Best cartoon. I can do that.
All right, so we're doing our best of the year nominees now.
Best of the year nominees.
All right, so
do it.
let's divide. Let's do best show animated, and then
Okay.
do best show live action.
Got it.
There's-
Animated.
this was a year of big animated fucking
Okay,
shows.
X-Men 97 was my show this year. It fucking
Solid pick.
killed.
I concur.
You
killed.
do?
That's what I wrote.
That's
Yeah.
that's
Hell
fucking.
yeah,
I cannot argue with that. It was, in my opinion, it's the best thing Disney's done in maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, it's unbelievable.
It really carried over the original story and feeling of the show.
Yeah.
I respectfully disagree. The Mandalorian is the best thing that they've done in years. Then X-Men 97. I'm a huge Mandalorian fan. You cannot do no wrong in Mandalorian. for me.
Fair, but at the same time, I think X-Men 97 was better.
Okay, all right. X-Men 97
your
this
decision.
year for me. Fucking did it. Cartoon.
And that's your pick?
Yep. You.
Best pick for you? Is that your pick?
I think if they can end Dandadan as well as they've been going, I think that's the best animated thing I've watched this year.
I have no argument with that. Dandadan was a
Dandadan?
great show. If you
Okay.
haven't seen Dandadan,
haven't.
It's
It's
wild.
huge.
It's
It's
out there. Unfortunately, it is based in high school, which is a thing I always have a gripe with.
yeah.
But
The
ignoring
older I get, I hate it more.
ignoring that, it's a
can't relate.
fantastic fucking
Okay.
oddball show.
Real quick detour.
Can we have one anime that takes place in college, please?
Yeah,
Just one?
like all you
Did
had
they
to do
go
was
to college?
age them
I
up
don't
one
even know
one
that.
school. What school? Make them
Make
in
'em a little
college.
older.
That's
Make it
it.
a, you know what? Make it a Florida school.
Yeah, make it a
Japanese
Florida-
Florida school.
Well,
That'd be
Florida school, they
hilarious.
might be 18.
I watched an old movie called Gladiator, which is about boxers, not the Gladiator. The
I was
other
about
guy.
to say, yeah.
Cuba Gooding Jr. and some other
Yes.
dude that
Yeah.
nobody
Oh, I
remembers.
mean Cuba when people cared about him.
Yes. And when you watch the movie, they're supposed to be in high school. Cuba Gooding Jr. is clearly 43 at this time. And he's
Yes.
talking about, my girlfriend's 14 and we just had a kid. I'm like, bullshit, motherfucker. You liar.
But that's also
but
that's
yes.
also in the age of 90210 was all 30-year-olds.
Yes, correct. You thought
And
that
they're all
everybody
playing
that went to high
15.
school had a full beard. I'm
Yes.
like, why the fuck can't I grow a beard?
I ain't got a beard yet.
My best
Ian
hit-
will never have a beard.
So we got Dandadan, 2 X-Men 97s.
Yes.
My pick for animated show of the year in like a year with like Vox Machina and fucking Invincible. I'm going with
yes.
Arcane.
Ooh, Arcane. Solid fucking pick.
Netflix has been throwing out like A1 fucking animated shows from Blue-Eyed Samurai to all these
Yes.
others. Arcane though, between soundtrack, like story, character development, it blew me away. And
Fuck yeah.
I hope it's not over. I hope they
Yes.
continue to go with it because
Was Blue Eye Samurai this year?
I think so.
Yeah.
That has to be an honorable mention.
I want to say it was this year.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Blue Eye Samurai was fucking fantastic.
Blue
Have
Eye-
you seen this? Blue
No,
Eye
no,
Samurai
but I've
on
heard about
Netflix?
it.
I would put
Dude,
for me. I put
so good.
I put Blue Eyed Samurai above X-Men 97, and I love X-Men.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think Netflix killed it with the animation, and also Dandadan is on Netflix.
Yeah.
So
no.
Netflix is just, and they there's also more anime coming out, like Sakamoto Days, shit like that, big ones that are coming.
Yes.
And Netflix has the right to that too.
Netflix is
Nice.
really starting to crush the other streaming competitors.
It's gonna
Yeah.
beat Crunchyroll if it keeps adding these good shows.
Yeah.
I'm just
if they're
saying.
getting them at the same time or which is what they're doing with
no
Dandadan
reason,
and
There's
stuff.
no reason to have Crunchyroll.
Yeah, it really makes it hard to justify unless you want to watch some of the trash anime that I watched this year. I
Well,
mean, there's
there
no
was-
reason for
there was
Crunchyroll.
There was another one, another honorable mention I would say is Demon Slayer came out this year, right?
yeah.
So
that
Demon
was-
Slayer, this arch was really very, very good,
yeah.
and it's leading
and the
to
best arc is still to come.
Yes, I agree.
Castle.
Have you seen Demon Slayer as well?
Yep.
Very
Not caught
good.
up, but I watch it.
Love it.
All right. Any
Perfect.
other honorable mentions before we leave the category of cartoons?
So I don't know. I think we're good there.
All right, that's
So
what
we
got.
got 2 X-Men 97s,
Yes,
a
sir.
Dandadan, and a
Arcane.
An Arcane.
All right,
All right, let's go to
fantastic.
best live action show. We'll start with Nelson. on the
Best
right.
live action
Show, not movie.
not movie.
TV show.
Fallout for me.
Fallout?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Fallout just killed
Great
it
mention.
in every way possible for me. And I do not like the game. I'm going to say that. I don't like the game.
Speaks for
I'm
the
a
show.
Skyrim guy. So when I watched the show, I was all in. I wanted to go back and play the game, and then I remembered I hated it. But the show
tried.
was
You like the
fucking
story.
killer. I loved the story.
Yeah.
Story was great.
Yeah, I mean, 3 and 4 are one of my are like number 1 and 2 favorite games ever. And the show put me over the edge of buying the original first and second game.
Came back.
And this is what we were talking about earlier. Trying to play the first game, fucking terrible.
Yeah.
The game I know the story's supposed
Didn't
to be
age
better,
well.
but the game mechanics aged so poorly. I was literally saying earlier, it was like 30 minutes to fight a single rat.
Yeah.
Right.
It's too
I walk out the fall and it's like 30 minutes to fight a rat. I walk 10 more feet and now I'm engaged with 3 rats.
That's a hell of a
I
rat.
don't have an hour and a half to spend fighting 3 fucking
Well,
rats.
that's why I play so many rat sticks. And played so much Fallout.
Fucking right. Fucking right. What about you? What do you got?
For me, my favorite live action show, I'm gonna go with Shogun, just because I think it did such a good job of immersing you in the time period. Like I was like worried they were gonna make it cheesy, that they were gonna like fuck up the roles, that there was gonna be like like a bunch of black dudes playing samurai and shit. I was like, oh great, this is gonna be all.
Whoa! There was one black samurai.
If you're
historically, one.
There's stories of it, but there's no like confirmed pictures. There's even a picture that I saw AI generated. That's not true, but yes, there has been rumors. There's been stories of an African samurai. Yes, under Nobunaga Oda. But anyway. Shogun, I think, was the best representation of like a historical period piece. Like everything, I love the guy that played the dude from England. I think they did the story actual justice, and I couldn't wait to see the next episode.
The only reason why I watched is because like you read the book, you see the 70s, 80s version of it, and it's just like you were like, give me something new. But apparently it's that good. I'll have to check it out.
It is, and I think it broke a record for the amount of Emmys it won.
Nice.
It won like 14 Emmys or something crazy.
All right. What about you, Jason? What you got?
I'm following. Dang it! It just looks like I'm copying from Nelson's notes. Like Fallout's super good. I mean,
It was.
If only just the power suits. Like
Yes.
unless like this is gonna be some amazing
Brotherhood of
cosplay.
Steel.
The best giant cockroaches on TV to date.
Have you seen The View?
Is that another Whoopi Goldberg joke?
No. I'm asking the question.
Eddie?
I said Fallout already.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to start this way, Jason, right?
Yep.
So that I can copy your choices.
Oh,
We'll bring it back this way. So we're going to go to film. Best movie of the
I think
year.
this one might be unanimous.
Yeah, Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah, Deadpool, Wolverine too. But I do want to say Dune 2. Like, listen,
It was good.
Honorable mention.
Yeah.
Honorable mention.
And
Yes.
I think it gets lost because it was so early in the year.
Yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
saw that like the
It was
day it came out or the day
Yeah,
after.
yeah.
So it was like,
Dune 2 was one of the best sci-fi movies I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
it's also hope, right?
Yes.
Because it's like Star Wars is kind of like having a tough
Yeah.
moment,
Yes.
and so
Yes.
That's
it's
a
like, what
nice
else
way
do
of
you have?
putting it.
You know
Yeah.
what? So let's say we could put that in like a action comedy category, right? Like no, Deadpool Wolverine.
we're
Deadpool
breaking
Wolverine,
breaking
right?
it to separate
And then
movie categories.
sci-fi.
No, we're not-
Listen, we're not adding
Sci-fi
DLC
character.
to the game like the Game Awards are doing here.
Yeah.
No.
No,
I'm
it's
trying to
just-
give space for Dune to live and breathe.
No, it's great. It's great, but it's not Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah,
Deadpool Wolverine.
Let it be the clean sweep that it is.
Yeah,
All right.
Deadpool Wolverine.
Deadpool Wolverine.
I think it
Yeah,
just
yeah.
shines so bright because we've just been getting force-fed shit from
Yes.
Marvel because of Disney for so long.
Yes.
That Deadpool Wolverine, like someone actually taking creative control and doing something they wanted, I was like, holy fuck, this
Yes.
is good.
And it was so joyful. Like I spent like half of that movie laughing.
I
I
laughed
can't
so- I
remember
was
when
in
I've
pain.
laughed.
I was
that
in
much.
pain. I was laughing
Yeah,
hard.
Yes.
just the dog.
Okay.
Pool.
All
my
right.
God,
All right.
it's
So,
so good.
best musical of the year, Edward.
Best
Are we
musical.
doing best musical or like best music pick for the year? Can we do
I mean,
that?
I
It
don't.
doesn't have to be a
I don't
musical.
watch any musicals, but I did get my music wrap up, and I had listened to somewhere around 100,000 minutes of music, which is 70 non-stop continuous days,
Nice.
4,500 different tracks.
So who's your artist of the year?
The one that was actually played the most was Fall Out Boy.
Wow. Yeah, they've held on, man. I didn't realize that.
You
we'd
did do a
still
lot of
be-
running, I guess. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a good thing to run to.
But a lot of the top played tracks were from new stuff that, not new necessarily new bands, but bands I hadn't heard before. Like Beartooth, Sleep Token,
Yeah.
a lot of the rock that just kind of was a little going under the radar, and I had to start just going and deliberately picking, like, I haven't heard these guys.
Yeah.
Let me hear this. Because the algorithm will just kind of keep feeding you the same shit.
So
if you
Fall Out Boy?
don't, if you don't go out of your way to find other stuff,
Yeah.
well, I use them. It's almost like a jumping off point. I could pick this track and it'll give me something similar for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the same thing with, like, one of the songs I had played a lot was Dropkick Murphys' Rose
Yeah.
Tattoo.
Okay.
It's a good jumping off point for that particular style and genre of music, where it's like, I know if I pick this, it's a good playlist for like 2 hours before it kind of kicks back around.
Mine was Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas." No, I'm just kidding.
25 years
Eminem, Houdini. Eminem, Houdini. It was a
Solid.
surprise hitter for me of the year. I love Eminem. It was a throwback to an old track. Abracadabra. I mean, come on, it was fucking dope.
It was, again,
That was my shit.
an artist doing what they do best. Surprised people liked it.
What about you, Jason?
Huna Mankind, Big Dogs. Have you guys heard this?
not.
You might have heard it on YouTube because it's like they throw it. It's like yeah. Starts off. It's like this. So it's
Okay.
it's this guy who grew up in Texas. He's got Indian background, and he's like he's a hard rapper, just great, just really like it just like takes you back.
Yes.
And I've listened to his just listened to his music so much, and I'm like I'm like bothering like my offshore talent at work. I'm like, hey guys, have you heard this? Like, Jason, stop asking me that. I'm not interested.
All right, Ian.
Mine was surprise, a lot of heavy metal.
Throw gargling in the Himalayas.
Listen, I listened. No, actually, believe it or not, no Mongolian music this year. I listened to a lot of Slaughter to Prevail. I listened to a lot of Motionless in White. You mentioned Sleep
Motionless
Token.
in White as well.
Sleep Token was on my list,
I
but
Prevail,
without a doubt, my number one most listened to band of 2024 was Falling in Reverse, and in particular the Ronald album that he released in like a song every month for like God knows how long,
Like a year and a half. Yeah.
Ronnie Radke was my most listened to artist from Falling in Reverse.
All right.
A lot of heavy shit in 2024 for me.
So
That's right.
we will end this on a positive note. What are you looking forward to? Anything? Music, movie, anime. 2025. What is the one thing you're most looking forward to? And I will start with the Fantastic Four. That is what I'm looking forward to the most in 2024. I'm hoping
you want to see things
it
big
kills.
rocky dick.
The Fantastic Four.
Okay. My bad. Whatever.
Hey, if that's fantastic for him, then that's fantastic for him. But
It might be fantastic, but I hope it's more than 4. All right.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I see what you did
It
there.
really comes down to units of measure.
It was a big
Yeah,
dick
yeah,
joke.
units of measure. Yes, yeah. Is this metric system or?
What we're most looking forward to in 2025? Fucking. The only thing that I know about, like the trailer just dropped, is the fuck is it called? Invincible season 3.
Invincible?
They just
Okay.
dropped Invincible season 3. I would say that is what I'm most looking forward to right now. That, or I know at some point in time they're gonna release The Witcher, and I'm not looking forward to Liam Hemsworth, but I will give it a shot as a fan of the genre. So
Fair enough.
I will watch the first episode of Netflix.
Jason?
So Brandon Sanderson just dropped Stormlight Archive book 6.
Good.
So it's gonna wrap up the arc. This guy, like a lot of people don't like know it, but he's like one of the most well-selling like high fantasy, epic fantasy authors.
I'm sure my brother knows all about it, and right now he's listening.
He's
Hey,
all
like,
for you,
yes.
Ian's brother.
My people.
Ian, your audience of one.
Yeah. He's probably going to say something. He's like, that Jason guy knows.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Shay. Stop
The
listening.
last thing I read was an instruction manual for a melee vacuum.
Yeah. Those things slap.
They
like
are.
they
My-
last.
My
forever.
girlfriend reads a
fucking
lot of
great.
fantasy, but it's all that like fantasy porn, fairy
Yeah.
Has he
Yeah,
had
sex with a
anything
dragon.
of
Yeah,
his?
exactly. Yeah. I'm not wearing wings, Sierra. It's not happening.
Do it.
So
No.
Elf ears and glitter.
has
right.
he had anything of his
She'll be
translated
fucking me
into
at
a
that point.
movie or
Not yet,
show
not yet, and that's the beautiful thing about him because he's like kind of owns his own publishing house called Dragon Steel Media. So he just like saw what like Amazon did with like classic Penguin Publishing, where they just own it all. they can shut it down in a minute.
Yes.
So he's like, that's frightening. So he started building his own production, his own printing, all that stuff. And he's just waiting. He's biding his time, waiting for the right time. And I tell you, the minute you start seeing like Stormlight Archive movies come out, and we got to be getting closer.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, we talked about. I think you talked about him on some of the last podcasts. Like he took over for Wheel of Time. Right at the end, he ended Wheel of Time. I think the best books in Wheel of Time are the ending. I think he nailed it too.
Okay.
You know?
And Wheel of Time is a great show. That's another honorable mention for a show.
It's a good fantasy
Really
show.
loved it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So my excitement is I hope that since he's hitting the midpoint, and that's like how he starts off the book. It's like this wraps up the first arc of the story.
Right.
That he's gonna start talking about movie deals because he's got 6 enormous epic fantasy books that like it's like the George R. R. Martin like HBO ran out of content.
We'll never see Winds of Winter.
Yeah, he'll never.
You will see Elden Ring 3 before you see fucking.
It's like those books are good because he takes a very long time writing them.
The next Grand Theft Auto will be on play at the Xbox before.
When I see George R. R. Martin, I don't think healthy.
Yeah.
Oh, he hates that though. Poor guy.
It's the hat. It's the hat for me.
You know what
It's
though?
the hat.
He's a big boy.
We should
It's
make
the hat.
that.
It's the fucking hat. It's the hat.
We should make
Eddie's
that.
hat.
You know what? Jiu-jitsu
it's
for
Eddie's hat.
authors. We need to like get him in
Yes.
shape.
George R. R. Martin
going.
would have hellish top pressure.
Yeah, he would.
Yes, he would. Yeah.
He would mother's
Big
milk
boy.
the shit out of everybody.
It'd be awful. His big hairy tits just mushing your face.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
I could smell Westeros.
Ed, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to VR. I just got myself a headset. I got it set up yesterday, and I just played one of the demo games, and just the demo game alone fucking blew me away as comparison to like PlayStation's previous generation VR, where it was wonky. It got the point across, but even me, who has a pretty solid stomach, it would make a little woozy after a little bit because the latency wasn't quite there. But I was playing some of it yesterday, just getting it set up, and it is leaps and bounds better than the last generation that they were trying to do with it.
Is that all you're going to use VR for?
That's what I'm intending to use VR for.
Do the sound. Do the sound. Anyone
do you
get-
need to borrow Donald Duck?
I just want to, just, you know. When I hear VR blew me away, I'm just like, hey.
And on that note,
What? I just,
thank you for joining us at the Silver Kingdom
Can I
podcast.
can I borrow it?
you can get it. Well, on
Bro, you're gonna
Black
get it back
Friday,
sticky. You're gonna get it back
On Black
sticky.
Friday, the headsets
Sticky?
were $200 for
not
the
bad.
newest generation ones.
That
Yeah.
last VR set on the PlayStation made me nauseous every fucking time.
Does it have attachments?
It's not a Hoover vacuum, bro.
What? I can't.
So devious.
I'm not the only one thinking this.
Yes, you are.
I'm not the only villain
Nope.
on this couch.
You are. You're,
No,
the,
I'm not.
you're the fucking penguin. You're the
Guys,
fucking penguin.
I'm not the penguin.
You're the penguin.
No, I'm
you're
not
the
the
fucking
penguin.
devil incarnate.
You've never even seen the penguin.
I know, but after hearing the explanation, you're the penguin.
The Joker 2 VR.
Nobody will watch it because they'll be singing.
Whatever. Gaga's in it.
That's it.
It didn't make it any better.
Oh, good shit, gentlemen. Woo. Thank you for joining us, Jason.
Thank you.
You'll be back.
I'll be back.
I mean, look at my haircut. You can tell.
I agree.
I've made some questionable decisions.
And the shirt.
Wow, fuck you, man.
Oh, you wait, no.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Yeah, that's whatever.
I actually like this one.
Yeah. Why don't we drink some Don Julio?
Listen, we're gonna drink some Don Julio. When
I
you're
will-
not looking, I'm gonna slip some into your whiskey.
I will convert to Islam and suck dick before I drink that Don Julio. I'm letting you know.
Consider
right
yourself converted, sir.
now. Well, there's only one thing left to do. Volunteers?
Politics. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Tribute?
I'm just gonna
Anyone?
drink my coffee.
What? No one?
Look at
One
this
person?
guy. He's doing IT on the fly.
Oh, yeah.
He's fixing.
Now you
things.
see what's the real like meat and potatoes of the show. Like me and Nelson.
I got a good 3 minutes filming you guys. I'm like,
Me and Nelson just make people laugh. Like Eddie is literally keeping this thing running.
Yeah, he holds the whole
Yeah.
structure together.
Yeah,
Yes.
I actually I sent Nelson some messages over like, hey, Spotify feed's not going too well. Like something's missing.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, it'll get worked out. I send it to Ed once. And he's like, I fixed it permanently.
Oh yeah. No, Ed.
But that's what I meant by it's gonna get fixed. I'm gonna
Yeah,
text
exactly.
Eddie.
AKA
Eddie
it'll
is gonna
eventually
fix
find
it.
its way to Ed.
I don't have any technical.
All is right in the world once Ed
I
finds
don't
it.
have enough technical prowess to even say like, yeah, it's gonna get fixed in 20 minutes. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.